Hey everyone, it's Vicki Weber from At Home Author. Today we're going to talk about ways to get your books in bookstores. Now, if you are planning on being traditionally published, stop right there. You don't need this video. A traditional publisher is going to handle all of that for you. If you're going to be self-published, on the other hand, it is a little bit trickier to get your book into stores. Now, before we dive in, there are two different ways to be self-published. There is print on demand by using a company like KDP or Ingramspark, and then there's offset printing, where you print your book in bulk, usually overseas, and usually about 1,000 copies or more. And then you either distribute them yourself, or you find a distributor or pay an account like Seller Central in order to get your books on Amazon. Now, this is important to consider because depending on which route you take for self-publishing, it'll change how you actually get your book into bookstores. If you're using the print-on-demand company KDP, KDP only makes your book available on Amazon, unless you use something called expanded distribution. Expanded distribution with KDP does make your book available a few other places online, but it does it at a high cost. You're not going to make very much of a royalty. What I instead recommend is using Ingramspark. Ingramspark distributes to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.com, Target.com, but Ingramspark also makes your book available in Ingram's database, which allows schools, libraries, and bookstores to purchase your book at a wholesale discount. KDP's expanded distribution doesn't do that. You'll also make more money with Ingramspark. Now, KDP has other advantages, which is why if you are going the print-on-demand route, I highly recommend using KDP and Ingramspark together. That way, you get the best of both worlds. Now, how does this relate to actually getting in a bookstore? If you're using Ingramspark, then all you need to do is email or call the ordering manager at one of these stores and ask them to carry your title. You can call up your local Barnes & Noble and say, hey, I'd love if you would carry my title. It's in Ingram's database. They can go into their existing Ingram account. You'll be in the catalog, they'll order, and your book is there. Boom, done. The thing is, though, sometimes they'll still say no. They might say that your wholesale discount isn't deep enough, in which case you can either go into Ingramspark and increase the wholesale discount, or you can offer a wholesale discount through you by ordering author copies. Some stores might say no because you don't have the sales background, or you don't have a captivating, competitive enough cover to be sitting beside traditionally published authors. So that's why I always add into my marketing videos that you have to first create a quality product. Your cover needs to look like it could have been produced by a traditional publishing company, even though you're a self-published author. And that comes with financial cost. So make sure you don't cut corners on editing and you don't cut corners on illustration if you're a self-published author. So that's the first place to start, just by asking, because you never know what will come of it. Now, if you are using offset printing for your books, then what that means is your book will only be available to places that you are going to distribute it. So it'll be available hopefully on your website. And then if you get a Seller Central account, it will allow you to sell on Amazon. The tricky thing is there isn't an account that will allow you to distribute to places like Barnes & Noble. And as a self-published author, there is not another way for you to get into Ingram's database unless you get accepted by one of their distributors. That's the equivalent of querying agents for traditional publishing. You have to actually pitch to a distributor and kind of put together a resume almost and prove why they should carry your books. It's a little bit tricky. It is a little time consuming, but it is entirely possible to get one. So if you're doing offset, that's how you're going to get into stores like Barnes & Noble, Target, etc. The other thing you can do with offset print books is stay local. You can go to your local bookstores, your local libraries, and other places with your books in hand and see if they'll purchase them at a wholesale discount from you. You'd be surprised. A lot of them will say yes. Not all of them will order in large quantities, but that's to be expected for smaller local bookstores and other shops. That's really all there is to it. Don't forget to comment below with other questions that you have about getting your picture books published.